Good morning and welcome to the conversation on TOSTV Network, your digital first Pan-African news network, reaching you as always from Abuja, Nigeria's capital city. My name is Adesuwa. Quite an interesting conversation we're going to be having later on. But before then, I'm going to quickly bring you COVID-19 updates from across Africa, and then we'll be moving straight into the big story for today. You're still watching the conversation on TOSTV Network. As I always say, you can be a part of the conversation. Just follow TOSTV Network across all social media platforms. It's TOSTV Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube. It's TOSTV Network. And of course, you can stream our website for stories and happenings from across the world. It's www.TOSTVnetwork.com. Now, straight into the conversation for today. So the Senate actually, going back and forth about proposing a bill to criminalize ransom payment, I'm going to just read out what the amended bill said. That the amended Terrorism Act said, anyone who transfers funds, make payments, or colludes with an abductor, kidnapper, or terrorist to receive any ransom for the release of any person who has been wrongfully confined, imprisoned, or kidnapped is guilty of a felony and is liable to a prison term of not less than 15 years. So that's the sentence for paying ransom to bandits. To discuss this with me on the show today is Adedapo Banjo, a policy expert and social commentator. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Adesuwa. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. So I'm moving straight into it. Although the Nigerian government is actually making, concerted efforts towards improving security, but shouldn't there be consideration for the multifaceted causes of kidnapping in Nigeria before considering penalizing ransom payment for kidnapping? Okay,
thank you. Good question. It's important, first of all, to educate Nigerians and let Nigerians understand where we are when it comes to security matters in Nigeria. First of all, I think Nigeria became completely, almost totally insecure and unsecure, even for children in Nigeria, because school children are not left out. The Chibok girls, we are still looking for over 100 of them. Yeah. The Dapchi girl, Leah Charibo, is still in captivity for not denying, our religion. And so we have had myriad of issues, and we have had a cup full, from insurgency to banditry, from banditry to kidnapping, from kidnapping to all the violent crimes in Nigeria. So Nigeria has become one of the unsafe countries, one of the most unsafe countries in the world. And that's because of the myriad of insecurity issues that we've been experiencing. Now, let's come to saying people get kidnapped and they pay ransom. Now, what is a ransom? A ransom is actually a price paid or something demanded for the release of a captured person. Yeah. This person is already in captivity. I think our lawmakers are very insensitive and they are outdated. And it's clear, when you copy a law out of the country, or you copy a law from another country, you cannot copy and paste in a democracy that is just growing. Our democracy have number in terms of years, but in terms of maturity, policy, procedures, content, legislatives, and launching of providing documents that can actually guide our democracy. Though our legislatures have failed very woefully. Now you're coming out criminalizing paying of ransom when somebody is already captured. And now the problem is we are still a very close, united nation when it comes to how we value families. Yes. Now, a member of my family has been captured, and then the people who kidnapped are saying a ransom needs to be paid. Let me quickly say that I do not support ransom payment, because it is as much as you can as well say you are legalizing illegality. You are simply putting a value to, you see, because many of the kidnappers may actually not be kidnapping for the sake of kidnapping. They actually may be insurgents. They may be terrorists. And so the money they are collecting from you is not based on the fact that someone has been kidnapped. They use that ransom to actually buy arms and ammunition into your country to complicate the security matters.
So would you say that's the offshoot of where this amended, Terrorism Act is from, saying, going by what you just said now, would you say that's the reason behind what the legislature is looking at? Yeah,
because it's not just enough to look at it from their point of view. Their point of view is the fact that, one, all our legislatures, many of them are well secured. A few of them were for victims of kidnap, or one or two members of their families. You will remember that the governor of Kaduna State, in person of Nasir El-Rufai, came up and said, I will never pay a ransom for any form of kidnapping. And that is to emphasize the fact that Section 14.2 of the Nigerian Constitution says that security and welfare of the people will be the purpose of government. Okay? Now, it simply means that all the monies that you should use to secure your people, you pay such monies as ransom to just release one or two or three people, and sometimes it could actually be a larger group of people, like the Dapchi girls, like the Chibok girls, and all of that. So we are talking about an act that should be condemned in its totality. We're talking about a group of people that Nigeria should use technology to fight them, not to give them ransom or pay them or honor their demands in release of people.
Okay, well, you're talking about ransom on a larger scale where the government is involved. But looking at it from an individual perspective, where somebody, a family member, was kidnapped and then they were contacted, and then an individual will do anything to actually get their persons back, right? And having to now pay ransom, criminalizing that without any proof, without any proof of ties to whether this person has a tie to the kidnapper or to the kidnapping or to the action, isn't that like a psychopathic approach, really?
Yeah, I mean, you use the right word. It's very psychopathic. It's very unfortunate. It's something that is condemnable. It's something that we should not even be talking about in a country like Nigeria. But unfortunately, this is where we are. It is what it is. Now, a family member has been kidnapped, and the kidnappers reach out to the family and say, you have to pay a certain amount of money for your father, mother, brother, sister, son, or something to be released. And government is saying, if you pay them to release your dad or your mom, you are a criminal. It's unfortunate, and that if you are caught or they find out, you will go to 15. You will be sentenced to 15 years in prison. It doesn't make any sense of any group of people that we call legislatures, a group of people who sit down and put papers together to form policies to guide this country out of the myriad of issues that we have been dealing with. And so, for me, I think that it's just going to be a law. It will never fly. Nobody will ever be criminalized. Because I will finish anyone. God forbid that somebody close to me, is being kidnapped, and then we go the extra mile, sell houses, borrow money, sell everything we have ever lived for to save the life of a loved one. And then you discover that I paid to release my loved one. And you are telling me that I'm a criminal. When you as a government, you have failed in your responsibility to provide security for me and my family, which is your primary responsibility. We will go to court. And when we get to court, we will talk about this issue, and we will see who will eventually be criminalized.
But if that is made into law, does anyone have like a stand in court, really?
Yes, somebody like me.
Oh.
I'm going to have a full day and a field day in court.
Okay.
I will use documents, I will use instances, I will use circumstances and happenstances to support and defend my position. Why my loved one should not be killed whilst in the hand of kidnappers.
Okay.
You don't even know where, the condition, what they're dealing with person. Are you aware that women, when they get kidnapped, that they are being raped every day? And so I have a 15, 16, 17-year-old daughter kidnapped and then still with the kidnappers, with the trauma that I have, that she's probably being raped on a daily basis. And I'm doing everything to pay the ransom to rescue a daughter out of the hands of kidnappers. And at the end of the day, you want to make me a criminal for paying them. Something must be wrong with the system. This is almost unbelievable that a group of intelligent people supposedly will come up with a policy like this, and you come out to read it out to Nigerians when you have done nothing, practically nothing, to beef up security, to get intelligence, to put up intelligent gathering technology and facility and processes to make sure that you locate where kidnappers keep people and rescue them with little or no collateral damage. But you are coming out with a policy to say that if I pay ransom, and then I'm a criminal. It's unheard of. It's unheard. In fact, it is criminal to make a policy like that to be made. Right. It is criminal. The crime itself is that a policy like that has been initiated in this country, Nigeria, as at today.
Okay, that's one way to wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining me on the show this
You're
morning.
welcome.
Thank you. And thank you for staying with me on the conversation this morning. Do not forget that I'll be back here, same time, same channel tomorrow. But before then, follow TOSTV Network across all social media platforms. It's TOSTV Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube. It's TOSTV Network. And of course, to my website for news and stories, happenings from across the world. It's www.tostvnetwork.com. My name is Adesu. I'll see you. Thank you, and join me again tomorrow.